Thank you very much, Apostle Koviwa and the entire clergy that had to come here to give us a blessing. May I ask each one of you to take a seat as we proceed. Amaindia Bambo, mmene tikupitirira ndi programu yathu mama uno, ndipitirire kupereka ulemu kwa alendo ena amene pa nthawi imene timapereka ulemu anali asanakhazikike nkwazindikira kuti tili nawo pakati pathu. Ulemekezeka athu amene tili nawo pano Aras Chikomeni, representing JA government. Akukapereka moni kwa mapresident anzao. Komanso convoy yao ya imamalo abwino panja apo tayiona. Beautiful. It's always good to get together. Ndipereka ulemu kwa Mr. Mavoto Bamosi, our political science representative. Komanso, all representatives of the British Commissioner here present this morning. And of course, the mayor of the city of Blantyre, His Worship, the mayor, amagwinja amene ndakuona ndipena pake munthu wankulu. Mulandero ulemu wanu ndithu. Ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed, in the interest of time, I would like to introduce to you the panel seated in front. You may be asking why they've been here for a while, and you are actually wondering why, indeed. Kutsogoloku, Tirindi, Dr. Collins Magalasi, Komanso Ameneali, a chairman, panel yonse, Komanso organizing committee, ya Manifesto launch. DPP oye! We have Dr. Justin Saidi, taimana kuone ninso. We have Mr. Clement Kumbemba. Please present yourself, sir. We have the most hyperactive lady in the land so far, Madam Jana. Honorable Toko Tembo, amene ulemekezeka. Komanso, we have Honorable Samuel Tembenu, SCC. Thank you very much. At this particular time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask Dr. Collins my apologies indeed. Dr. James Mpunga. Avalachipewa Dr. Sinaone. He's hardly in such an attire. Thank you very much. Ameneo ndi Dr. James Mpunga. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to invite Dr. Collins Magalasi, the chairman of the Manifesto Launch Committee, to address us this morning. Thank you very much. Doctor, over to you.
Right Honorable Justice Dr. Jenansa, running mate of the Democratic Progressive Party, Your Excellency Enoch Chihana, President of the Alliance for Democracy, Secretary Generals of the DPP and AFORD, Vice Presidents of the DPP and AFORD. In the interest of time, allow me to say all protocol observed. I have a very difficult assignment to do this morning, to introduce the Manifesto of the Democratic Progressive Party for the years 2025 to 2030. Just a bit of background. There was formed a team of drafters, researchers, and all. So the product that we are going to unveil today has taken close to 6 months of work. There was a team of 19 eminent ladies and gentlemen who have been meeting these months. They did research, so they went to the ground and talked to everyone that they could. So the product that we have here is not addressing DPP interests. It is addressing Malawians' interests. So the solutions that are being proposed are responding to what Malawians want, from Chitipa to Nsanje, from Kotakota to Mchinji. In order to come up with this document, as I said, apart from collecting data, analyzing, drafting, validating, and now we are presenting, there are several requirements that we have had to follow, and I would like to confirm. The Political Parties Act, Amendment 1 of 2022, requires that any political party that wants to participate in an election in this country must develop a manifesto that meets the requirements of the land, specifically under the Malawi 2063. And then the manifesto is subjected to an assessment by the National Planning Commission. And if the commission is satisfied that you meet the requirements of developing this country, then they give you a certificate. And I'm glad to say the DPP manifesto has been certified by the National Planning Commission. Honorable members, the DPP manifesto is 92 pages long, and it covers the following. There are pillars of development that we have emancipated in the document, and these are agricultural productivity and commercialization. Number 2 is industrialization Number 3 is urbanization. And number 4 is decentralization. There are enablers that have been expounded in the document, and these are mining, transport, energy. For our youth, you may be excited. ICT and artificial intelligence, energy, as I've already highlighted, tourism, secondary cities, land, housing, water services, mindset change has a special chapter. There is good governance, rule of law, and fighting corruption, security, international cooperation and the diaspora, public service, private sector, industry and trade, in human capital development, education, health, nutrition, sanitation and hygiene, women empowerment and gender, disadvantaged persons, the elderly and people with special needs, environmental sustainability and disaster risk management, youth and sports, climate change, non-state actors, that's the media, civil society, and religious organizations, and finally, creative arts. Ladies and gentlemen, I will try just to highlight some of the summaries, and my colleagues on my right will get into details of the following: education, governance, rule of law, and corruption. We have industrialization, private sector, and trade. The next will handle youth, women, and the elderly. And then we'll have health, nutrition, and sanitation. And then we'll have infrastructure, where we'll handle mining, roads, bridges, and such stuff. So in my summary, I will avoid those that I know are going to be tackled by my colleagues. But above all, the DPP Manifesto has two very key chapters that I'll speak to in detail. One, the macroeconomic framework. So all that we are going to talk about, we are going to explain how the DPP is going to change the economy. It wants to grow the economy. By 2030, the economy of Malawi will grow by not less than 6%. There is a dedicated chapter, as I said, on agriculture and food security for simple reasons. Among our terms of reference that we, as a drafting committee, were given, included
Malawi's journey to wealth creation, as envisioned in MIP1, demands one essential foundation, a stable economy. But today, that foundation is crumbling.
Not a topic. It must be something taken for granted. And that's what we have done in the document. Very quickly, in tourism, something very outstanding is an establishment of a package. I'll just create a package, you get the details in there, for local Malawians. The tourism so far, we have looked at it, it must be somebody coming from outside Malawi, and then it's the tourist. Our research indicated that we've got the potential for lots of tourists, Malawians. Mountain tourism hubs in Katabe, in Likoma Island, Salima, Mangochi, Nankumba Peninsula, Kemaklia. Wildlife conservation areas, that's in Nyika, Vaza, Kasungu, Lengwe, Mavi, and Majete, Leonde, and Kota Kota. They have got specific attention. Upgrading, of course, infrastructure that goes to tourism spaces, the details of which we are going to hear. There are issues to do with ferries and all that on Lake Malawi, and operationalization, of course, of the Malawi Tourism Authority. I'll avoid some of the areas because my colleagues will get deeper into that. Land, housing, we have been advised, we found out that the Malata and Semen Subsidy Program has to continue. There's an issue of housing. The need for low-cost, durable, and habitable housing for rent, but also for sale. So the Malawi Housing Corporation will have a specific different role. Civil servants and housing issues have been highlighted very, very clearly. We know civil servants, in our research, they said there used to be a facility, as long as you're a civil servant, you could have a house. We are back. I'll go to decentralization. What this DPP manifesto is talking is about doing things differently. Ndalama, at the moment, is at Capitol Hill. And when you are in your area, we've talked to almost all district commissioners. There is no money. They're not funded. The DPP manifesto is suggesting the following things. And this is devolving money. As I said, we have gone to the 229 constituencies looking for data. And the DPP manifesto says under decentralization, money will be moved from Capitol Hill, and the following things are going to happen. Every constituency in Malawi will be allocated money will now be at the district level, at the constituency level. So every constituency in Malawi, it doesn't matter whether you are, it's a constituency for government or opposition or independent, you are Malawians. So every constituency will be allocated 5 billion kwacha every year. And we have had this debate. Where will you get the money? I'm an economist. The monies will come from locally generated resources, and it's only 1.134 trillion kwacha every year. There are several packages that my colleagues will highlight, and my colleagues in the youth sector and sports. Under this manifesto, we don't need to beg Capitol Hill in order to give us money for sports, for creative arts. Because every ward, every constituency, particularly at the constituency level, the youth will have access to 50 million kwacha every year for sports. Businesses. You want to go to NIF? We all want to go to NIF. It's a very important program. The drafters have researched, have looked at what is happening, and have identified there's a lot of money, but the cost of running the money is too high. What do? The DPP manifesto says we'll have that money in the following manner. Every constituency has a package for the youth loans in the tune of 100 million kwacha per constituency per year. Not just that, women will have access to 100 million kwacha every year for women businesses. Are you not going to increase money supply in the economy? No. I'll come back with the macroeconomic framework. Your Honor, let's talk about security. The manifesto has talked to the MDF, has something for the Malawi police, the Malawi prison service, immigration and citizen service, and national intelligence. We have specific programs for the MDF, and what the manifesto is highlighting, I'll not highlight them. You have access to the manifesto. But there's something that we found interesting under the Malawi Police Service. Apart from having capacity and operations of the police enhanced, there is an issue of the capacity and operations of the Independent Complaints Commission of Police. The DPP is going to fund and build capacity of this institution, which will work as a check onto the operations of our police. It is aimed at promoting accountability, professionalism, discipline, and the respect of the rule of law and human rights in policing functions. Ensure that Mzuzu, Lilongwe, Blantyre, Zomba, for a start, will have city police. And Mangochi as well. There's an issue of road traffic safety services and the issue of on-the-spot traffic fines. I know this one is going to be an immediate announcement after September 16th. No more on-the-spot fines. We need to move this. We need to find a solution and find alternatives to the use of breathalyzers on the road. It's killing business. The document talks more how that has been done. Construction of houses, 4,500 houses will be built for the police. Malawi prisons, we need to move. There are prisons that are in town. Why are you having Chichiri prison? There. Move it out of the CBD. The same thing in Lilongwe and other places. There are places that don't have prisons, whether it's Palombe, Salima, Mchinji, Rumpi, and Mankibe. The houses, the prisons will also have 1,500 houses by 2030. Immigration, there's a lot, but I'm just trying to get those snipers because now we are running against time. Immigration, we need to stop the country from embarrassment. Passports are so basic. So the manifesto talks about how we are going to restore the integrity and quality of passports. In those days, a Malawian passport holder could go to almost all countries without visa requirement because it was an honest passport. Now we have got limitations. So we have to restore the integrity, and there are specific projects on that. I think I need to drink water. But one thing I would like to say is special about, I was just kidding. But thank you. My colleagues will talk to the 6 areas that I said, and then I'll come back and tell you where the money will come from. Your Honor, may I take a break and ask my colleagues to get into the details. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. DPP OA! Dr. Collins Magalasi. Amakhala mwina 20 minutes osayankhula kumakayankhula mmutumo ndimene mmazoti economist wadzuka. DPP OA! Ndikuona Honorable Suleiman akuoneka kuti ali ndi mawu paja amakhala mawu nthawi zonse landani ulemu wanu. Pepani sindikupasani mpata pepani. Ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a few videos that are going to be played shortly. There's the first one that's going to run now, and after the panel discussion, there's going to be another one that's going to come. We have our moderator in the house, Mr. Patrick Achitabuino, who's going to take us through the whole panel discussion in front. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, the video clip is about to show.
Wealth creation, as envisioned in MIP1, demands one essential foundation, a stable economy. But today, that foundation is crumbling. One essential foundation. Between 2021 and 2024, inflation averaged 25%. By early 2021, it had soared to 34%. Inflation averaged 25%. By early 2025, the policy rate has more than doubled from 12% to 26%, choking business activity. The policy rate has more than doubled from reserves are at their lowest in a decade, choking business activity. A staggering 16.4 trillion are at their lowest in a decade, quadrupled since 2020. A staggering 16.4 trillion is pushing out private investment since stalling growth and deepening hardship. Real GDP growth is investment averaging just growth. 2024 real GDP growth is nearly flatlined. Malawi is on the edge of an economic crisis. In 2024, it shrank by 1.8%. Where the story ends, Malawi is on the edge of an economic crisis. The DPP has a bold recovery plan. Where the story ends. By 2027, we aim to reduce inflation to single digits and restore average growth. By 2027, we aim to reduce inflation to single digits and restore average growth to 6.5% between 2028 and discipline, smaller government. We'll grow what we consume and export what we grow. The DPP vision is clear, from instability to strength, from crisis to growth. A government that lives within its means and builds a future beyond limits. DPP, delivering prosperity, restoring hope.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this particular point in time, may I introduce Mr. Patrick Achitabuino to take us through the panel discussion. Mr. Patrick Achitabuino, this is your time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Special thanks. Allow me to recognize firstly the running mate for the United Democratic Progressive Party, Jen Answer, SC. Let me also recognize Honorable Enoch Shahana from the Alliance for Democracy, all protocols observed. Distinguished colleagues, what we have basically is now a synopsis of where we're going. Dr. Maglassi has just given us a snippet of what we should anticipate. And we cannot exhaust everything at this point in time. Nevertheless, it is necessary that we look at some of the key technical aspects. We have 30 minutes. We have 1 hour, that is. We might cut it slightly shorter because we're mindful also that we've got a great afternoon to which much of these things will be expounded. So we'll have some probing aspects to complement what Dr. Maglassi actually said. And I will start with Madam Jana. If we are to change as a country, if we are to move forward and become an upper income economy, industrialization plays a key critical role. Apparently, the industrialization sector contributes less than 15% to the GDP of the country. And that doesn't make great sense at all. Great challenges that we face, among them, limited agricultural productivity, I know Dr. Maglassi will come to it, inadequate infrastructure development, and according to how the manifesto is, do we have the messianic aspect in the industrial perspective? Practical dimension, over to you.
Thank you very much. As you have just stipulated,